At this point, I would like you to study the following sets of sentences yourself. Come up with your own generalizations. You will now experience being a student to give you a better perspective when you guide your own students to form generalizations. Let's now study the sentences set by set. We'll organize them in the form of a table. He has just finished applying for UPCAT. He prefers studying in a computer school. He regrets taking his studies for granted. He remembers telling him about it. He likes writing about news. What do the sentences in set A have in common? Can you identify their parts? The subject, the verb, the direct object. He has just finished applying for UPCAT. He prefers studying in a computer school. He regrets taking his studies for granted. He remembers telling him about it. He likes writing about news. Your answer is correct if the sentence pattern that you have is subject plus verb plus direct object. What is the form of the direct object? Yes, they are all in the ing form. Do they function as verbs? You're right, they don't function as verbs. If they are direct objects, then they function as nouns. Let's study the other sets of sentences and label the sentence parts. What does each of the sentences have in common? You're on the right track if your answers are the following. For set B, the direct objects are in the to plus verb form. They also function as nouns. For set C, the subject or subjective complements are either in the ing or the to forms, and both are acting as nouns. The ing and the to forms look like verbs, don't they? But do they function as verbs? If they are used as subjects or subjective complements of sentences, then we know that they act as nouns in the sentences, and they complete the meaning of the verbs. If they act as nouns, but look like verbs, what are they called? And what do we specifically call the to form? How about the ing form? Yes, they're called verbals. Verbals are words derived from verbs, but do not function as verbs. Verbals are of three types: the infinitive, the gerund, and the participle. The to form is the infinitive. Infinitives are made up of to plus the base form of the verb. An infinitive can function as either a noun or an adverb. For this lesson, we will focus on the infinitive as a noun. The ing form is called gerund. It consists of the verb ending with ing. They can only function as nouns in a sentence. You can refer to the teaching support materials for discussion on participles. What language functions do these verbals express? Let's study sets A and B once again. What does each set express? Notice that gerunds usually follow verbs such as finish, regret, and remember. What action do they express? Yes, they are used to express real and fulfilled action. What about set B? Notice that infinitives usually follow verbs such as plan, hope, and promise. So, what actions do they express? Yes, they are used to express futurity or unfulfilled action. Can you interchange infinitives and gerunds? Read the following sentences and see if they make sense. 1. He plans taking up computer engineering. 2. He hopes passing UPCAT. 3. He promises studying harder. 4. He likes to tinker with computers. 5. He finished to apply for UPCAT. 6. She enjoys to write news. 7. He avoids to go with bad company. Which of these sentences make sense? Which ones do not? If you say the sentences aloud, you will know that sentences 1, 2, and 3 do not sound right. Some verbs like plan, hope, and promise can take only infinitives. Sentences 5, 6, and 7 also do not sound right. Verbs like finish, enjoy, and avoid are followed only by gerunds. Now read the sentences again. Do they make sense now? What about sentence number 4? Let's take a look at sentence number 4. Does the meaning change? Do both sentences make sense? No. The meaning does not change and the sentences still make sense, whether you use an infinitive or a gerund. You will agree with me when I say that some verbs, such as like, can take both infinitives and gerunds. What other verbs can take both infinitives and gerunds? Listen to the following sentences.